Let's talk about Jumong. Before Goguryeo rose like an iron-backed dragon in the northeastern mountains, the land was a wilderness of towering pines, mist-covered cliffs, and rivers that roared like beasts. In those early days, destiny stirred within a single unborn child. Lady Yuwa, daughter of the heavenly being or river god Hebek, once lived in the distant Buyo kingdom. She claimed she had been visited by a divine light. That radiance, she said, descended from the heavens, settling upon her like a warm flame. Soon after, she became pregnant and was imprisoned by the king of East Buyo, Gumwa. Now, Gumwa did all he could to get rid of the child. The chronicles say Gumwa tried to crush it, the child survived. He tried to starve it, the child thrived. He tried to leave it exposed to the elements. The child only grew stronger. So the king relented and raised him. He would posthumously be known as Dongmyong. The Gwangeto stele has Chumo. His personal name was Jumong because of his exceptional archery skill. By age 7, he could strike a leaf floating down a river. By 12, he could split an arrow already lodged in a target. By 15, the king's sons grew jealous, terrified that this mysterious child, rumored to be the son of heaven, He Mosu, the founder of Buyo, or of North Buyo, would one day claim the throne. In Buyo, Jumong married Lady Ye of the Ye, and she gave birth to their son Yuri. But when plots whispered through the palace and deadly glances followed him, Jumong sensed doom and fled, accompanied by trusted companions, while his wife and son stayed behind. Soldiers pursued them on horseback, their shouts shattering the forest silence. They reached a great river, wide as an ocean and furious with summer rain. Jumong lifted his bow. "Spirits of the river," he said, "I am your grandson. Open a path." The waters stirred. Turtles rose like stepping stones. Fish surfaced in shimmering ranks. The river parted, not fully, but enough. Jumong crossed with his companions as Buyo soldiers stared, terrified, unable to follow when the turtles and fish dispersed. Beyond that river, he eventually reached the land known as Jolbong Buyo. Dense forests pierced with granite peaks and tribes threatened by raiders and beasts. To them arrived a young man with the bearing of a noble and the fire of a warrior. He subdued bandits, hunted for villages, and taught the people to defend themselves. Stories of his miracles, his bow that never missed, his uncanny wisdom, his divine birth, spread through the valleys and mountain passes. A ruler in Jolbon Buyo gave his daughter, Yon Sosono, in marriage to Jumong. She had previously been married to Wu Te, the brother of the king of East Buyo who tried to kill him. This marriage would provide him with necessary legitimacy and finances to establish his rule. Later, at the foot of Mount Jolbon, he found a land of natural fortification, high cliffs, swift rivers, and plains where horses ran free. The chieftains gathered and said, "You are the one foretold. Lead us." Thus, in 37 BCE, at 22 years old, Jumong founded a kingdom with his capital on the banks of the Piryu River. He named it Goguryeo, the lofty nation, the nation high as heaven, and he took the family name Go. To mark the founding, Jumong shot an arrow straight into the sky. The arrow rose so high that it vanished in the clouds. Thunder answered, not in anger, but in affirmation. The people knelt, believing that heaven itself had crowned their new ruler. Under Jumong, Scattered tribes became soldiers, hunters became cavalry, villages became fortresses. Goguryeo grew not gently, but like a wildfire, consuming threats, uniting clans, and spreading across the northern mountains. When the king of Jolbonbuyo died without a son, Jumong succeeded him and expanded his influence. In 36 BCE, King Songyang of Piryu submitted to Jumong. There were many auspicious occasions in these early days: dragons, color-changing clouds, divine sparrows and phoenixes, and strange weather. By 34 BCE, the city was walled, encompassing the palace. Jumong was no longer just a miraculous archer. He became the living anchor of a nation born from hardship, prophecy, and the stubborn refusal to bow to earthly kings. He conquered a few kingdoms and made them districts. Many years later, in 19 BCE, after unifying the region and securing his dynasty, Jumong vanished from the earth without a body. The chronicles say he ascended into the sky, becoming a dragon. The people believed he returned to the heavens, the realm where his destiny had begun. He was succeeded by his eldest son, Yuri, but there are speculations that Yuri was not his son, but rather a usurper who tried to legitimize his rule by claiming descent. It's interesting to note that Yuri and his mother arrived in Goguryeo the very year that Jumong died. Now Jumong's son with Yon Sosono, Onjo, who may have been the son of Wute of East Buyo, went on to found the kingdom of Baekje. And a third son, Biryu, settled in Michuhol, which is probably in today's Incheon. Jumong's name lived on in the thunder of cavalry charges, in the clang of iron forging in mountain villages, and in the chants of soldiers who spread the kingdom like wildfire and carved Goguryeo into a powerhouse of East Asia.